Well, welcome back to another 5 minutes to a better mix. This is Graham, and we're looking at 31 mixing tips in 31 days. And today I want to talk to you about why I typically will place EQ before compression when I'm mixing. So if I am using EQ and compression on a track, a vocal, a guitar, whatever, I typically process the EQ first, and then I'll insert a compressor after that. Or if I'm in a channel strip, I'll make sure that the EQ comes first and then the compressor. And there's a couple reasons why. I'm going to show those to you today. And keep in mind, not everybody does this. A lot of people prefer to compress before EQ. I'm not saying one is right and one is wrong, because that would be a misnomer. I'm just showing you the way I like to work and why I do what I do. So here's the idea: is you do have a choice of the order of how you process things, and it does affect the signal to a certain extent. Today I want to show you an example where I've got a track and there's an acoustic guitar part. All right, right here in the middle. Okay, so what I have on this acoustic guitar is a channel strip, which is, if you're unfamiliar, it's simply a couple of plugins smashed into one. It's really emulating like you would see on a console, in this case, a specific console, the SSL E-channel, but a mixing console will have an EQ going down the strip, and then maybe there'd be a compressor and maybe a gate all the way down, and then the fader at the bottom. Just imagine any live console you've ever seen at a club or your church or wherever. And this is no different than having a separate EQ plugin and a separate compressor plugin. But even within a channel strip, you can change the order of the way the audio hits these things. For example, in the SSL, audio hits the compressor or the dynamics section, and then it hits the EQ and or the filters. And you can change that. Right here, I've set the dynamics to go to the channel out, which is this button here, which means dynamics or the compressor gate will be last in the chain. So if you're an SSL user, keep that in mind, because I used to do this backwards without realizing it. Big mistake. Anyway, so I want the audio to go through my EQ first and then hit my compressor and then go out to the mix bus. And the reason is I do a lot of subtractive EQ, meaning simply this, that I usually use EQ to take away offending frequencies, cleaning up frequencies, and then I use compression to bring in some life and energy. So what I've done in this EQ is, if you look down here, I've got a frequency at 300 hertz that I have taken out 2.4 dB. I've scooped out some of this low-mid stuff. That woofiness. So I've done a scoop there, got rid of some of that woofiness and cleaned it up. At the top here, I've also done a high-pass filter up to about 99 or 100 hertz. So I've cut out or rolled off all the low end below 100 hertz, leaving room for my kick drum, bass guitar, things like that. That's all the EQ I've done on this acoustic guitar is subtractive. I've taken away frequencies. Since that's what I like to do a lot of the times, I don't want to compress the bad frequencies. So in my mind, I prefer to remove them from the guitar first so that the guitar sounds cleaner, and then use compression to compress or turn up or affect whatever's left. Get rid of the bad stuff, reveal or enhance the good stuff. That's the way I look at it. EQ first, then compress. I've got a little bit of light compression here, 1.8 to 1 ratio. Slow attack. It's not doing much. It's a little bit of gain reduction here. 3 dB at the most. This is no processing. But here's what I suggest to you. If you're using actual EQ and compressor plugins, like not a channel strip, it's a little bit easier to visualize it. When you go to EQ or compress, try your settings, get them going, and then flip the order. Put the compressor first. See what it does. See if you like what it does. It may vary from instrument to instrument, but on a whole, I find I'd rather sculpt out the bad stuff, and even if there's a boost, I don't mind that, but then compress what's left. I think of it as fix a track with EQ, and then present what's left in a better way with compression. This is the way I work. Hope that helps you guys. Think about it on your next track. Again, this is Graham from therecordingrevolution.com, and I better see you on tomorrow's video. Take care.